Hello, everyone. Welcome to our happy hour on the Northwest Territories. I'm just going to give it another minute or so. I see the numbers rolling up. For those of you who joined a bit early and were able to listen to the music and just watch those spectacular videos of the Aurora Borealis, I hope you had time to just settle in and put your work aside and really kind of just get zen. I want to hear all about what's going on in your world. Our chat is working today, so please put some notes into the chat because I missed it last time we did our Via Rail happy hour, and I just love going back to the chat and finding out what people are drinking and where you are and what's going on with your weather. I'm on Vancouver Island and it's officially fall here. The colors are spectacular. My street is gorgeous. And I came up with this theory over the last couple of days. It seems like on the East Coast, the colors are spectacular. And on the West Coast, these colors are spectacular. Is that because the salt water from the ocean? Is it because of the type of trees we have near the ocean? If anyone has thoughts on that, let me know because I'm trying to figure that out. But again, thank you for joining us for our happy hour today on the Northwest Territories. It is officially our 20th happy hour that we started these amazing little 1 hour, 45-minute journeys within Canada to inspire you, our travel agent partners around the world. And I'm able to say that now because we officially have travel consultants not only joining us from Canada and the United States, but we've now got some coming in from Australia. I want to give a shout out to Lovely, who joined us last time, and hopefully you're joining us again today. Please share the links to the happy hours. Have your colleagues sign in. We're super excited. This registration for this week is up over 250 agents to join us today. So it's a very exciting time. Let's cover some housekeeping before we get started. Number one, all of the video footage that you will see in this happy hour, as in all of our happy hours, is done with amateur telephones. So we wanted to keep it as real and as authentic as possible. So we use my cell phone. We do a little microphones, but of course the sound isn't always perfect. So please turn your volume up as high as you can, and not to worry, we will send a recording out to you afterwards so that you can probably hear it a little bit better. The other thing is, of course, please, as I mentioned, let me know where you're coming to us from in the chat, what you're drinking. I'll share with you today what I will be drinking, and I'm super excited about that. I'd also like to start off by thanking my team that is, a few have joined us today. Adrian is our marketing. She's an amazing marketing lady. She's really instrumental in helping putting these together, as well as Jessie, who actually does the PowerPoints for me now. And you'll be able to see the improvements as we go along. She's doing a fabulous job. And we also have Jenica joining us behind the scenes, so she can answer any questions in the chat or the question and answer box with regards to our fully escorted tours, because a lot of this product is in our fully escorted tours, but our FIT as well. So let's get started. It'll probably be about 45 minutes. I never know. Sometimes I get on a tangent, but depends how much. And I have a frog today, so I'll be drinking extra amounts of beer today. So just to give you that heads up. Let's get started. Let me jump ahead to the next slide. Okay. Oh, I went back. Hold on. As you can see, I am absolutely terrified in this photo of the polar bear behind me. Most of you know who I am. My name is Darcie Guarderas. I am the Director of Business Development for Anderson Vacations. I'm also the luckiest person probably in Canada because I get the pleasure of traveling around our spectacular country and visiting many, many places and focusing on some of the off the beaten path places that Anderson Vacations is really starting to focus on. So we've got incredible product for your clients. Anything to do with Canada and Alaska, please think of us, but don't forget that we also offer Australia, New Zealand, and the South Pacific Islands. We have some amazing pricing. And the best part of all is our staff. Of course, you know, we have exceptional specialists that will answer the phone within 2 rings. And now how many tour operators can say that? I don't think there's very many. So welcome again today. I want to make sure I've gone over everything. Amateur video, keep that in mind. The chat for questions and answers. And again, thank you to my amazing team for making this happen. And thanks to you for joining us. I know it's crazy busy. Every single consultant I talk to tells me how crazy it is, which is a good thing. We aren't supposed to reach those levels until 2025, but look at where we are. It is crazy in such a positive, wonderful way. I'm terrible at technology. Let me just jump to the next slide here. Okay, now I normally have one of our partners join us, usually from one of the provincial marketing organizations. And unfortunately, Tori Sturgeon is not able to join us today because she's at a conference. This is definitely the conference time of year. But I had the absolute pleasure of spending 4 days with Tori, and she is an absolute sweetheart. I would consider her a very close friend of mine after spending so much time together. Her passion for the Northwest Territories, it absolutely shines through. And she took me on this journey that I will never forget. She's the manager of travel, trade, and business partnerships, and she works very closely with Anderson Vacations. And we do everything we can to support this amazing territory. Okay, here's the fun stuff. That's part of my job. Okay, so the beverage today, there is this little brewery in Yellowknife, and it is adorable. The Northwest Territories company brewery. They have this beer called the Kicksled Cream Ale. It actually won an award in, I think it was 2016, for being the best cream ale out of like all of like ever. I think in North America, I believe it was. I have it right here. It is, I've already had a sip of it, so I know it's delicious, but I'll do a cheers to you for joining me today and have another sip, make sure that my throat stays nice and liquid. Oh, delicious. Absolutely delicious. I think I need you to call my boss and tell him that I can't work after this. I'm going to have a little nap after I finish my beer. Great beer, great products up there in the Northwest Territories. What are we going to talk about today? We're going to explore the Northwest Territories. These are actually our own photos from some of our previous tours that we've just done recently. On the top left-hand side, you can see all the people sitting in the middle of the road. This is one of the little things that they do with our guests to show how flat it is on the road there. I have to tell you that the last tour that we did of the season to the Northwest Territories, when the tour leader returned, we did send out surveys, and the average score for that tour was 10 out of 10. The guests loved it. We even had guests remarking that they would travel anywhere that tour leader was going to go in the future. So that means the world to us. We focus very carefully on finding the very best tour leaders out there. And again, some of these photos are actually from the tour leader that were on that particular trip. So this is a map from our online digital brochure of the places that we do go to. So I've been to Tuktoyaktuk, Inuvik, and I've been to Yellowknife. I have not been to Yellowknife or Sax, I think it's Sax Harbor. I've not been to either of those places. And I'm going to show you, we're not focusing on all of them today, but I will show you some of the places that I have been and share a few stories and things with you so that you can kind of taste and feel what it's like, so you can share that information with your guests. This is our first video. It's a little bit dark. Remember, turn your volume up and I'll play this for you. This is the welcome into Yellowknife. We're in Yellowknife, one of my favorite cities in Canada. And I've never been here in the summertime. So it's such a beautiful surprise. So green. We're heading into the fall season where the colors are just starting to change. Did you know that the Northwest Territories are spectacular for their Aurora? But there's so much more to do here besides just Aurora. And did you know that the Northwest Territories are twice the size of Texas? More to show you. Follow along. One more, did you know? Did you know that if your guests go to Yellowknife or the Northwest Territories, and they're there for at least 3 nights, there's a 98% chance that they will see the Aurora Borealis. It is the best place in the world to see the Aurora. Many people think it's Iceland or other places around the world, but that is not the case. Where Northwest Territories are located, it is the perfect place to see the Aurora. So we've got some amazing tours that I will share with you later on in the presentation, and hopefully make you some money and help you to sell those. Okay, so this is the hotel that we stayed at. I'm not going to say too much because the video says it all, but it was awesome. There are many hotels in Yellowknife,
But the premier hotel is the Explorer Hotel, where we're staying right now. It's got a wonderful lounge, a fabulous restaurant, and the location is absolutely perfect. You can walk to just about everything. And the best part about it is the hospitable staff when you come and enjoy this wonderful property.
So there's the lobby, nice and clean. And like I said in the video, the location is phenomenal. You can walk a couple blocks to downtown, really busy. And it is the premier hotel. I don't know if you could hear me saying that, but it is the premier hotel in Yellowknife. This is where I would, if you can, we put all of your guests in here. Great restaurant. When they have this fire going, it is beautiful. And the food was really, really good. I think I had a bison burger that was really, really awesome. So that is definitely the premier hotel in Yellowknife. Well, once we got settled into our hotel, we did a little walk around, and then we decided to take a tour with one of our amazing partners called Sundog Adventures. Now, Sundog Adventures was started by a young couple. They have young children. The gentleman's name is Rich, and he started out with 2 dogs. And that was kind of like the turning point. He had these 2 dogs, and then he decided that he wanted to, create a business. So he actually got 6 more dogs, and that's where he started with sled dog tours. But he does so much more than that. So I'm going to show you a little video, but if you see the picture on the right-hand side there, that's actually, while we're in the video, you'll see us on a tour. We end up at that little location where it's kind of a screened in porch, so you can't fall off into Great Slave Lake. And we had, you're supposed to have, I think, coffee and tea and treats, but because we were there for a happy hour, he gave us beer and snacks, and it was wonderful. This is just a really intimate, personal part of this tour. And that's what I loved about Sundog Adventures was I felt like by the time I was done, they were my friends. I got to know them really well, and they make your guests feel that way as well. We have a little video, and on this, there's just a little bit of talking at the very beginning, and then I'll explain a little bit more to you as well as we go through the video.
And it was just a vibrant little boomtown. First time gold was ever discovered here, though, was in 1898. By some
Did you hear that? It was a gold town. I didn't even know that until I got there. So there's a whole bunch of incredible history, just like this airplane that you see here. It's an historical aircraft from Buffalo Airways. And what was really amazing about this boat tour is it takes you through the harbor of Great Slave Lake, and those are houseboats. So if you've been to Victoria, British Columbia, you know the little houseboat area at Fisherman's Wharf. Well, similar idea to that, more spread out, and really amazing. Like, your guests will love it because they take you around all these houseboats. There's something like 30 to 40 houseboats. And the gentleman that was our tour guide, who's telling us stories, actually lives in one of the houseboats. Very tight-knit community. They get on their boats, they do pontoon parties. Anyone who lives here lives tax-free. There's no property taxes. Whereas in other places in Canada, even if you're living on the water, you need to pay property taxes. So I was like, I'm in, I'm going to move here. And they're like, no, not so fast. They don't just welcome anybody in. They don't want it to be overrun with people. So it's very much a sense of community, but a really beautiful place to go through on the boat. And a lot of these houseboats have personality. Like, they have beautiful colors, and one has an owl painted on, and the 2 windows are the eyes of the owl. Really, really amazing. And the tour leader, Tim, told us stories, historical stories. He was not Indigenous. I'm going to share some amazing Indigenous content with you as well. He wasn't Indigenous, but he had some historical stories about Yellowknife in the area, and he even told us personal stories about himself, like when he arrived there, when he first moved to Yellowknife, and he was just a young bloke who, on his first day of his first job, had to go to a little graveyard and help these people who were excavating bodies. Really amazing, interesting things. I love stuff that's just, throws you off and shocks you. And it was really incredible. I loved it. Now, after we left Yellowknife, we did a drive, a 5-hour drive from Yellowknife to Hay River. And I didn't realize how spectacular this drive was until I actually did it. And many of our fully escorted tours and our custom groups will do this route. So we took some footage along the way. One of the stops is Bicheco Indigenous Reserve, and our tours go there. So there's a little bit of video on there, and then all the way to Hay River. I love this drive. It was 5 hours, but it went so fast. I could have continued on. It was really beautiful. So this is our first video on our drive.
From Yellowknife to Hay River is a beautiful drive. Not only do you have the possibility of seeing wildlife, bears, foxes, and so on, you can drive by this lovely community. It is an Indigenous community, and they have an incredible gift store in town. And it is actually part of some of our escorted tours. So on our way to Hay River, heading out now.
Just some footage of the gorge. It is like naturally such a beautiful area as you're driving, and some of the falls as well. There's two sets of falls here, and this is called, I had to write it down. Hang on a second. Where did I put it? Here. Twin Falls Gorge. So these are the two falls, and they're on the Mackenzie River. So it's beautiful. And right here, when we got here, there was a screened in shelter. And that's one of the things I asked about was, okay, I know up in the north, sometimes in the summertime, there can be an excess of bugs and insects, but they had screened in picnic areas, which I thought was brilliant. Now, the content you're going to see today is summer and winter, because the Northwest Territories are an amazing place to go in all seasons. But keep in mind, when you're looking for dog sledding experiences, of course, only in the winter time. But whether they go winter or summer, there's lots and lots of activities to do in Yellowknife and the area and the Northwest Territories. Tons of wildlife. So I have a little footage of some wildlife to share with you. This bison, as you can see, is not behind a fence. It is actually a wild bison. And this is the one that we saw on the side of the road as we're driving along. In many cases, they'll be standing in the middle of the road and you have to wait for them to move. I was really lucky to get this footage. Unfortunately, I just missed it where he laid on his back and rolled around. Now that is a whiskey jack. We are now on a hike, and this is a whiskey jack. This is in the middle of the forest. Very, very tame. And in fact, they followed us all over the place. This is back in Yellowknife before we left town. This is a little fox, a wild fox. Look how beautiful he is. And he just was going down the road, and he snuck into a backyard of someone's home, and I followed him in and took a little bit of footage. But it's a very natural, beautiful place, and you'll see wildlife everywhere. And that was an absolute highlight for me. I loved it. Now, another one of our partners that we work with, his name is Carlos, and he's absolutely lovely. He owns a company called Yellowknife Outdoor Adventures. They are a partner that we work very closely with that we'll use to build packages for your clients. Now, this afternoon that we were together with Carlos, we went out to his island, the Aurora Island, and we had the lodge dinner. So it is a boat ride out, and he offers all kinds of experiences. He's actually a fishing expert. Not only does he do fishing when it's fall, spring, fall, and summer, but winter ice fishing as well. He specializes in Aurora tours at night. He takes people out to the island to see the Aurora Borealis. He does snowmobiling tours, and he also has winter clothing rentals, all kinds of options for your clients. Here's a quick video of us. There's no sound on this video in the beginning because it was so loud. The water was kind of rough. It was very loud, but it was so exhilarating. That's Carlos. I'm just taking a quick video of the water as we're heading.
Carlos with clothes on. That's priceless. Oh, I'm on video. Oh my God.
You are. Oh my gosh, look at dinner tonight. And it's on the lake. Compliments of Carlos. How beautiful is this?
Imagine your guests there having this fresh cooked fish. The fish there, I had it like 3 times, different meals. The most incredible fresh whitefish I've ever had. Carlos was the best host ever. He cooked all that fish, and there was like bread and carrots. And I think he used, honest to goodness, a pound of butter. It was delicious, and it was an amazing evening. He does take your guests out there for Aurora viewing as well. So, and then he does have overnight accommodation as well. It's very, very moderate accommodation. So your clients need to be the right ones for that particular accommodation. Let me see how we're doing for time. Okay, so another one of our partners. I love Joe Bailey. This guy is larger than life. He's an Indigenous guide. Everything he does has a cultural content to it, and he is known as the Aurora Hunter. So in most cases, you will go out to a certain location and you will view the Aurora. usually you'll have snacks and you'll go in and out of a little cabin or a cottage, which is what you do at Carlos's place. And also at one of our other partners that we use, Bucket List Tours, you spend time in these lovely cottages. Beautiful, fabulous. We actually, in fact, try and do a couple of those experiences as well as an experience with Joe Bailey as an Aurora hunter, so that if they don't see the Aurora by chance, he will take them out in a heated van and take them out to find the Aurora. You go hunting for it. And he has an exceptional rate to find the Aurora. So you can see him there with his hands up. He's overlooking Cameron Falls. Yeah, you're gonna see some amazing video footage of him. We were absolutely captured by his energy, by his stories, and you'll hear a bit of him talking in the video content here. We did a tour to Cameron Falls. You're going to see some video content. Here's some great shots of how pretty and pristine. Don't you find your guests asking that, you know, to go somewhere where they can just peace out? They can forget about their busy lives. Don't you want to do this? Get there and just really leave everything behind. And you can offer this product to your clients, because you know what? If you're not selling Canada to your clients right now, you're missing out. It is your job as travel professionals to let your clients know that you are an expert. You can sell this product. People are buying it like crazy. And we've got agents making bookings like crazy. If you're not one of those agents, let me know. I'll help you. I'll work with you to figure out how we can grow your Canada sales and increase your commissions, because ultimately that's what we want to do, is grow your business for you. Okay, this is the video. We're going on the hike to Cameron Falls. Try and listen carefully. I'm going to try not to talk too much because you will hear Joe talking a bit of this.
In our Indigenous culture, everything comes from here.
A lovely hike.
Yeah, so again, here we are on our way to Cameron Falls. Late August, we are at the time when the bear is harvesting its last round of food. So they're extra hungry.
Oh my God.
And especially, yeah, so we're in their land right now. So you guys are very lucky. And so what we do is we launch a bear banger every 30 minutes, because they've obviously picked up our smell now. They can smell for 4 kilometers. It's incredible. So.
And I'm sweating.
Yeah. So what we do is we launch it. So ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Boom, and the bear's like, what the heck was that? Uh-oh, the other buddy says, Joe's here again, let's get out of here.
And these are the falls. Aren't they beautiful? Isn't he amazing? And he talks about his culture and his family, and it's just amazing. I loved it. Another great view of the falls from up top. I do have to tell you a quick story. When we were heading back to the parking lot, let me just make sure that Joe doesn't talk again here. I don't want to overtalk Joe. As we were heading back to the parking lot, we came across 2 young teenage girls and one of their mothers walking. There were no cars in the parking lot at all. And Joe was like very distraught. He said, what are you doing here? Like, where did you come from? And the mom said, well, we were dropped off by a friend. We're from Ottawa, and we were dropped off by a friend who just moved to the Northwest Territories, to Yellowknife, and we're just going on a hike. And he said, do you have a bear banger? No. Do you have bear spray? No. This is the peak season for bears. We are, like Joe said, in the bears' territory. It's their land that we need to respect. And here's these young girls walking around in the middle of nowhere, no vehicle, because they're going to get picked up later, nowhere to hide, nowhere to go. He was extremely distraught. He actually asked them some questions, some personal questions, like to find out what was going on. So it is important to really respect and let your clients know that don't go hiking off on your own. You need to have a guide, and we can arrange all of those things for your clients, especially with Joe, because he's so fabulous. Oh, I think that's the same one. Okay, so as you know, we love working with our Indigenous partners, and we have some incredible partners up there. This is Bobby Dry Geese, and he is completely opposite to Joe Bailey. He's very soft-spoken. He tells incredible stories. He really engages your guests. He'll take them in front of a map, and he shows you, the territory where he grew up, where his family grew up, and all of the inter-conflict between the Indigenous communities over the land. It's not just the conflict between, Indigenous people and the Canadian government and all these other, institutes. It's between Indigenous communities over the land that they're on, because who's there first? How long have they been here? Family groups and so on. So Bobby was amazing. We spent the entire evening, again, 100% Indigenous owned, as is Joe Bailey's company. Let me just flip to the next one. This is a video of Bobby's place. We had to do a walk into here. This is incredible. A lot of our custom groups do go here. We're working on transportation to try and get them into the camp, because it's a little bit of a walk. It's about, I think it's a kilometer walk, and it's a bit of an uneven surface. So that's something that we will talk to you about with regard to your clients. But take a look at this video and you can see just how special this camp is. He does, excuse me, oh, the beer's getting to me. He does cultural camps. He does all kinds of tours that come out here. He does Aurora viewing. In the wintertime, he'll bring them out on, like, pulled by a snowmobile, but they're in these incredible little sleds. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything here for... Okay, I think that's it. He does all kinds of wonderful things, but take a look at this video. Turn your volume up. There's not much volume in the beginning, but there will be in a minute. Isn't it beautiful? And he has all these camps that come. And as you can see, that's Jai, our VP right there. There's Tori, I think, or that could be Michelle. Some of the teepees.
So the curve, you see where the curve, all these things start straight, but then they start bending after a while. You're using it done for a long time. Yeah.
I have no rhythm. I just want.
Maybe stand aside.
You just gotta move a little bit. You gotta add you do a prayer song, we'll do drum dance. So drum dance, hit the drum a little harder, a little bit faster. Longer than that,
What an honor and a privilege. And in this culture, in the Dene culture, it's not actually normal that women would be allowed to drum in the Dene culture. However, Bobby went to his elders and explained why he wanted to include women in this experience. And I was so privileged to be able to do this with Bobby. And then after we did the drumming, there was some storytelling as well. Imagine your guests normally in the evening when it's dark outside, having the opportunity to drum. You could actually feel it throughout your whole entire body. It was really special. Okay, I'm all about the food. You know that if you've been to one of my happy hours before, and there is great dining in Yellowknife. On the bottom left picture, that's Wildcats. I love chicken wings. These, honestly, I'm not making this up. The best chicken wings I've ever had in my entire life were at Wildcats in Yellowknife. And at the end of our meal, Tori and I, after having a beer and having our wings, I said to the server, I would die to know how you make these. And she told me how to make them, exactly how to make them. And they're dipped in butter like 2 times and then deep fried in oil, and they're so bad for you. And that is why they're so delicious. Also, there's on the right hand side, oh my gosh, I can't think of it. Bullock's Cafe. This is incredible. You can see in the background, it's the right hand picture with all the stuff on the walls. There's things to look at. It's really, really cool. The next video you're going to see, we're in Bullock's having dinner. And you're going to see it on here. I'm going to start it in just a second. On the right hand picture there with the French fries and the fish, that was my dinner. I was there with this tiny little petite, beautiful lady from tourism, Northwest Territories. And she ate like a quarter of hers. My plate was completely bare. It was delicious, but I'm going to start a video here. You can see in the background. This was such an amazing dining experience. Look what this guy's doing back there. He's making French fries right there. That was super cool. He was not in the kitchen. He was right in the restaurant making French fries for us. Fresh cut, delicious French fries. That's what an experience is about, like getting to see it. And it was busier than you can possibly imagine. So you got to line up a little bit, but well worth the wait. Now, I keep talking about Indigenous experiences. The cultural experiences that you can have in the Northwest Territories are endless. You can really, truly learn about Indigenous history firsthand. I like to believe that tourism is a vehicle towards truth and reconciliation. You have people who are willing and able to take the time to listen. And Indigenous cultures, that's all they've been asking for so long, is for someone to just listen, to understand. And now your guests are willing to pay for these experiences. So you're helping in that process towards truth and reconciliation. So I think it's really powerful to have your clients experience these really, really amazing Indigenous experiences. On the right-hand side, that's a lovely little girl. That is a seal fur jacket. I actually wore that jacket one night when I slept in the igloo that you see in the center picture. I did stay overnight in there. It was amazing. I woke up in the morning. I don't think I actually slept, but my face was frozen in a smile. Your guests will love it. That is part of our FIT product if it's available when your guests are going. So there's lots of things that they can experience while they're up there, and trying the local Indigenous cuisine. I don't think there's a picture in here of it, but I actually tried blubber. If you've ever smelled a kerosene lantern, like at your grandparents' house or something, the blubber tasted like the smell of the kerosene, exactly what you would imagine it to taste like. If your guests, your clients don't have winter clothing, say they're coming from British Columbia and they don't have the winter gear, or they're coming from the South or from Australia, you can rent winter gear. I purposely slid this photo in because on the left-hand side, the gentleman in the suit that's way too big for him, that is our VP of Anderson Vacations, Jai Mukherjee. And I just thought it was so adorable that his suit was way too big for him. Not a very big guy, but that was just the beginning of our tour when we went with Carlos. Not only does Carlos rent these clothes, winter gear, also Joe Bailey with Adventures with North Star Adventures also rents gear. So your clients will be taken care of. I mentioned the Aurora Borealis. Now there are definitely seasons for this, but you'll be surprised. So pay attention to this. I don't think I told you about the questions. If you guys have been on here before, you know that we always have questions at the end and we have prizes. So hopefully if any of you newbies have been paying attention, because I can't believe I forgot to tell you that. I'm just so used to you guys knowing. There are some questions at the end. If you're stuck and you don't know the answer and you need some help, just send me an email and give me a nudge. The Aurora Borealis is spectacular. I mentioned that if guests are there for 3 nights or more, there's a 98% chance that they will see the aurora. Something to keep in mind, the aurora looks like this in photographs, always. But to the naked eye, in some cases, it looks white. Not always. Sometimes it'll be bright purple and yellow and pink and all these different colors, green, but not always. So they will catch it on their camera screen, but their naked eye may only see the white colors of the dancing lights. So that's important to note as well. Now look at these months, the best months for aurora viewing, from number 1 to number 9. So there's 12 months. You see a couple are missing here. So May, June, July, not good times to see the aurora. The best time to see the aurora in the Northwest Territories, September, because the skies are clear and you can see the reflection of the northern lights off the water, so off the lake. Beautiful. August is the second best time, and then you can see it kind of starts moving into the winter season. April, then March, January, and so on. So October, November, December, you can still see them, but not as often because the weather's more cloudy. Sometimes more storms blow in, but you can still see them at that time. But if your clients are like, I'm going there to see them, you would consider September or January, February, March are fantastic times. And we do have incredible tours going at that time as well. There's year-round fishing in the Northwest Territories, year-round ice fishing for those guests who want to try that, or if they want to do actual fishing in the summertime, great guides that we have access to up there as well. So if you've got people asking you about a fishing lodge somewhere, stop and think for a second. Who are the clients that might be interested in going to do not only some fishing, incredible fishing, but all these other experiences as well? I'm going to have I saw a hand go up, but I am going to have one of my teammates answer your question if they're able to. If not, I will answer at the very end. Okay. Another great activity to do in the wintertime only. Believe it or not, we have had people reach out to us who wanted to go dog sledding in the summertime, thinking that there is snow in the summertime, but there is not. In the winter, and as early, sometimes as like late November, early December, you can actually get snow, or even earlier, depending on the season. But dog sledding, if you are a dog person, you get to snuggle and kiss these puppy dogs, and it is the best. They're so tame and beautiful. Do not worry, these dogs are the happiest dogs in the world. They are raised to run. They are only happy when they're pulling a sled. They just love it so much. You learn about the history. You can actually learn how to dog mush, and you get the time to connect with nature and yourself. And it's, again, only available in winter time, but really, really special. There's a couple of amazing festivals in the wintertime in the Northwest Territories, and Yellowknife in particular. One is the Long John Jamboree, where you can see that's a photo of me when I was there. Everybody wears Long John pajamas. So there's actually a photograph of me wearing Long Johns, which I did not include in this presentation because it's not the most flattering photograph of me, but it's really fun because everybody's wearing Long Johns and it's amazing. There's ice sculptures, there's beautiful carvings and entertainment and shows. I didn't slide the video in, but I have throat singers, Indigenous throat singers, incredible, like just something you can only dream about. Now, I am going to sort of wind down by telling you about some of the tours that we do offer with our partners. We can also do custom tours. Don't forget that if you want to put together a custom tour and you would like to host that tour or you'd like to promote it, I can help you with that. For 2023, these show our 2022, no, these are 2023 dates. We do have our 5-day Aurora Borealis viewing for those people looking to go and see the Aurora, and so much more. January, February, March, a couple dates in March. And I happen to know that the guide, the tour leader that hosted our tour that got 10 out of 10 will be hosting those tours. So you know your guests will be taken care of. We also have our July and August summer departures for those guests who want to go to the Northwest Territories in the summertime, our 9-day Inuit lands and road to the Arctic that has some incredible inclusions, one of which is visiting an active whaling station, which is amazing. We also do some incredible FIT packages. Why would you put this together yourself when you can call Anderson Vacations and we can fully customize this product for you with the accommodations, activities, transfers, all kinds of things included? What a great way to sell this product and make amazing commissions. Now, I always include a recipe. That happens to be the fish that I did eat that night at Bullock's. Here's a recipe for pan-fried whitefish. If you want to take a photograph of it, great. If not, we're going to email that out to you with a copy of the recording. Don't leave yet. We have the questions where you can win great prizes. Now, again, I didn't mention that at the beginning. I can't believe I forgot, but most of you do know that if you paid attention and the questions are not that hard, you can enter and win some prizes. So I will leave this here for just a moment. You can take a photograph of it if you'd like. We will send it out to you afterwards. It'll be a little bit too late because the answers need to be in by tomorrow. We had over 60 entries to our Via Rail contest last time. Thank you for that. Question number 1. You can be entered here. Don't forget to win a Northwest Territories swag bag, and it will be awesome. And a $100 Visa gift card. Number 1, what is the premier hotel in Yellowknife that Darcie stayed at? Do you remember where I stayed? There was a video, great hotel, great restaurant. What is the premier hotel in Yellowknife? What is the best month to see the Aurora Borealis in the Northwest Territories? I just talked about that. Don't forget that there's a reflection off of the lake at that time. And question number 3, where did Darcie hike to with the larger than life Joe Bailey? Where did she go? Where did I go with Joe Bailey? And we took lots of video footage on that hike where those young girls should not have been hiking. Please submit your answers to that email address if you'd like to be entered into the draw. But there's another way you can win as well. All you need to do is book any Northwest Territories package at all with Anderson Vacations by the end of November. That's a whole month. And you've got all this product. And if you want to promote it, let me know. We'll do you a flat sheet up, send that flat sheet out. You have an incredible chance of winning this prize because we don't do tons and tons of sales all at once. So within this month, you have a great opportunity. So by November 30th, you can win some beautiful artwork from the North and a $250 Visa gift card. How about amazing timing, November 30th? After that, you can use it for spending on Christmas gifts if you like, or maybe some wine for yourself. I'm going to go back to those questions again in just a moment. But just to remind you that our brochures are quickly accessible and downloadable. So if you want to share something with your clients, you can print it off or download it and share it with your clients so that they do come back to you. We want the booking to go through you, of course. And clearly you've signed up for our travel agent portal, but if there's anyone in your office who you think has not, please send them to our website to sign up, where you will be notified about FAMs. You'll be notified about any upcoming events, activities, and invited to these happy hours. And hopefully you'll join us. Let me just look at my time here. I just want to thank him and go back quickly up to the questions to leave them here for just a moment. I am going to go up to the question and answer. It looks like somebody did answer it. Oh, Jeff. Yeah, of course. We will absolutely send you a copy of this recording. And you know what? If you want to share bits and pieces of this recording with your clients, please feel free to do that. I do talk a bit about commission, so you might want to cut that part out. But I did have an agent after the Via Rail presentation happy hour, and she asked me to send her specific clips. She had clients who wanted to book, and she said they were deciding between a single cabin, a double cabin, or prestige class. So I just texted her, you know, the videos for those 3 categories so she could share them with her guests. Whatever I can do to help you to grow your business, that's what we're here for. If you need me to help you with a presentation or even to speak to your clients, I will always direct them back to you. You have no worry about that whatsoever. So I'm going to quickly go back up here and look at the chat and see if there's anything in here that I've missed. I see lots of great comments. I can't wait to read all of these. And I can't thank you guys enough for joining us once again for a happy hour. The next one that we're doing, I don't know the date. I can't remember. We have so much going on, but we're doing a Newfoundland happy hour. I think it's in November. I believe it's in November. But we'll be sending out a reminder and an invitation to the Newfoundland one. Please join me. That trip was off the charts incredible. We're coming up with some more very soon, maybe some surprise ones, maybe a little further away from home, hopefully. But again, I thank you so much for joining us. I will leave these questions on. And let me just see, I think there's another question here. Let's just see, open question. May 13th down as the final date for email return. Oh, it does say Friday, May 13th. Thanks, Cheryl. End of day tomorrow, it says May 13th, but clearly tomorrow is not May 13th. Tomorrow is what, May 28th? No, it's not May at all. It's October 28th. So please feel free to send those in. And again, if you have any questions whatsoever about this destination or any destination in Canada, chances are that I've been there. I have now been to every province and every territory in Canada and will continue to do so and bring you all of this information so that you can share it with your clients. There's nothing better than, I mean, I know you can't go to every destination, but to be able to share those little insider tips with your clients really does make you look like a rock star. And that's our job. Our job is to make you look like rock stars so that your clients will come back to you time and time again. So as mentioned before, please remember us for Australia, New Zealand, and the South Pacific Islands as well. We have some great partners with incredible pricing. So compare us to our competitors, compare our service to your competitors. We may take a little bit longer than normal to get back to you because we're busy like crazy, but we do answer the phone and we do care about our travel agent partners. We love you to bits. Thank you again. I'm going to leave it on the screen and I'm going to say goodbye for now. Please keep chatting. Let me know what's going on in your world. And I look forward to seeing you again on our Newfoundland happy hour very soon. Enjoy the rest of your week. Happy Friday tomorrow and cheers to all of you. Bye.